Hello, and welcome to Module 3, Rome. We'll begin, like we did with the Greeks, by looking at what kind of impact geography had on the history of Rome. We'll also look at the influence that the Greeks and the Etruscans had on early Roman history. Next, we'll look at the development of the Roman Republic. We'll want to know what the major political institutions of the Republic were and what policies and what institutions help explain the Roman success in conquering Italy. We'll then move from Italy to the whole of the Mediterranean by examining the Roman conquest of that area. How did Rome achieve its empire? And what is meant by the phrase Roman imperialism? These are the questions we'll be covering in this section. What was society and culture like in the Roman world? How did the acquisition of an empire affect Roman social and economic institutions, their values and attitudes, their art and literature? These are the questions we'd like to find out about also. Why didn't the Roman Republic last? What were the main problems Rome faced during the last century of the Republic? And how were these ultimately resolved? After the Roman Republic, we move on to the Roman Empire, beginning with the age of Augustus. We'll look specifically at Augustus's efforts to solve the problems that Rome faced during the late Republic and the changes that he made in Rome's political, military, and social institutions. We'll also look at the early empire in general, examining its chief features, especially during its height in the 2nd century. From there, we'll want to look at Roman culture and society in the early empire. What were the chief intellectual, artistic, and social developments in the early empire? How did these differ from the intellectual, artistic, and social developments of the Republic? We'll take a look at that. We'll then end this module with a look at the transformation that occurred in the Roman world. First, we'll look at the crises in the 3rd century. We'll look at the political, military, economic, and social problems that the empire faced during the 3rd century. And finally, we'll look at the other transformational force in the later Roman Empire, and that is Christianity. We'll examine what characteristics of Christianity enabled it to grow and ultimately to triumph in the Roman Empire.